Okay. Angels, guides of the highest heaven, what is a message that the collective needs to hear this morning? Woo. Okay. Pause. So I'm going to cover her bottom so I don't get banned on here. This also is like the third, this signifies like the kind of like that protection, like third eye. Or not third eye, evil eye protection. So pause, and then worry came out after that. So I don't know if you're going through something right now where you're feeling like a lot of stress and worry. Let's see if there's another. Yeah, she just looks kind of sad in the picture. So I don't know if the collective I'm connecting with this morning is kind of feeling like a heavy energy. I heard a long time ago, like just in recovery or through something, that worrying is praying for what you don't want. So what we focus on like creates our reality and brings those experiences into us. And this isn't to bring fear to you, right? Because worry or anger or hate is a low vibration. So something like love and peace is a high vibration. So if you're in a state of like high vibration, and you're having a thought about something, you can bring that in quickly. Whereas if you're in a state of worry or fear, like you're not going to instantly manifest that awful thing to happen, right? Does that make sense? Let's see. Freedom. So I'm honestly just kind of curious what the worry card says. So I'm just going to look at that. Yeah, so there's a quote from Abraham Hicks in here. It says, worrying is using your imagination to create something you don't want. And so then I got the freedom card right after that. So to me, that is like when you can release the worry and shift your perspective, then you're going to feel in the state of freedom. But we're responsible for freeing ourselves. And I'm not saying it's easy. Like I do a daily gratitude practice, and I was going to leave the house this morning and I hadn't done it yet. And I was like, shit, I'm going to be late for work. But I was like, nope, you're going to stop and write down. You can take a minute to write down 3 things you're grateful for right now. And so I just stopped myself, and I'm like, well, if I'm late, I'm late. And here I am early. So great. It says this card also indicates the presence of repetitive negative thoughts and emotions that have become debilitating and have prevented you from making sound decisions. So I was definitely feeling in this energy like a week or 2 ago. And I started doing my daily gratitude practice again. And I started doing some meditating and just kind of getting recentered. And my energy's completely shifted. And so we can pull ourselves out of this. So this is just a gentle nudge to like either create a new practice for yourself where you're able to incorporate that gratitude into your life. So it says, stop thinking about the worst case scenario. Remember that you are a divine being and therefore naturally a manifester. Your thoughts create your reality, so avoid materializing the very thing you are worried about. Watch your thoughts and shift them immediately. If you are unable to shake away negative thoughts or emotions, try exercising, watching something funny, or working on a fun hobby. Make sure to stay in the present moment, which will help avoid worrying about potential future problems. Don't hesitate to ask for help from your spirit team if you find yourself chronically worrying about a situation or uncontrollable circumstance. So the other thing I did last week to kind of shift my energy was I really kind of came to a place of surrender, and I was crying, and I was like, all right, God, all right, spirit guides, like I surrender, like show me what my path looks like, that in a way that lights up my soul. Show me how I can be of service to the world in a way that lights up my soul, because I don't want to feel this way anymore. Like I just didn't want to feel the heaviness I was feeling. And sometimes it's necessary to be in that heaviness. There's always a reason for it, right? And so, and even if even if you shift it and then you go right back into that thought, shift it again. Like watch something funny. What are you consuming? Like what can you do to change your perspective on how you're living in your life right now? Because it's not going to change until your thoughts change. So I'm going to stop the message there. No, let me read a little about freedom, because I feel like that might be inspirational. okay, so I stopped it at 5 on the dot too. Have you been feeling as if you are stuck or under submission of another person, forced to remain in a joyless job, or feeling of obligated to fulfill expectations of family rather than follow your dreams? So this is all about like feeling stuck, just like what this whole reading's been about. You have the power to chart your own direction, choose your path, and create a meaningful life. Sit down and think of all the things you desire to do and desire to change, and invite your higher self to help show you the way. Many people believe that they must submit their will to the world. So, okay, another thing that happened to me last week. So when I was praying and I was in that state of like surrender, and I said to my guides, I'm like, please show me in my dreams or through a person, like what I am meant to do. I just need a little bit of hope. And so I'm going to get emotional. And so, I go into work the next day and a coworker comes up to me and she's like, I just found this Reiki position in the paper, and it's working with like hospice and oncology patients. And I'm a nurse, right? And it doesn't pay very much, the job. So that's not helpful in my financial situation. However, it sparked a whole new level of hope in me. And so when we ask for what we need, Spirit will show us in the most beautiful ways. And that came in a way that I never would have expected it. Did it fix my problem? No, but it gave me hope and the drive to create more of the reality that I want. So I taught my first Reiki class this last weekend. It was incredible, better than I could have even imagined. And I now know that I desire to do Reiki with people that are transitioning. I've always wanted to work hospice and oncology, and or people that are in grief. Reiki is an energy that can bring so much peace to people's life in those moments that are so hard and where they just feel debilitated. So I feel very passionate about that. And so that kind of opened up a direction. And do I have it solved right now? No, but I know what direction I want to go in. And I'm just going to see what happens, what opens up for me. And so as long as I take those little steps, there's endless possibilities that will unfold as I follow what I feel joyful about and open my heart. So I'm sending you so much love.